Good day to all of you. On behalf of Leather Naturally, I kindly welcome you all to this webinar. Please share your questions with me, and at the end of the presentation I will try to have them answered. My name is Rodrigo Enriquez, and in addition to my job in a global chemical company, I'm a member of the management board of Leather Naturally, and in the next 15 minutes I will explain you who we are, why we exist, why we love leather, and why leather is such as a unique material, sustainable material that belongs in a circular and responsible society. So who we are. Leather Naturally is a global non-profit organization with members from all over the leather value chain. Members including meat packers, hide and skin traders, leather manufacturers, chemical companies, machinery companies, test houses, and various associate members like country leather associations. Leather Naturally was set up some 12, 13 years ago because the industry felt the need to react to misleading information about leather that was factually wrong and damaged the image of leather. Today, Leather Naturally is run by the management board made up from volunteers from its members. What do we do? Leather Naturally promotes the use of globally manufactured sustainable leather and seeks to inspire and inform designers, creators, consumers about the beauty of this material, the beauty and versatility of this material. So that Leather Naturally is focusing on two main things, which are education and information and promotion. So we're pleased and very proud that last year in July we launched a brand new website, which is very easy to manage, to work with, and we have a lot of fact sheets in this webpage with information about benefits of leather, the environment, about manufacturing of leather, about chrome, etc. The website is a result of detailed research and dialogue with different stakeholders to understand the kind of questions that brand and consumers have in relation to leather. It is our goal to understand better this resource and give the facts to all of you to understand better this fantastic material. By our social media channels, we try to inspire our audience about leather as a sustainable material. Here, I invite you to consult leathernaturally.org. Every time you have questions about leather, or maybe one of your customers asks a question, the fact sheet on the website are easy to understand and will be available in the coming weeks in different languages, or are available already in English, in German, in Dutch, in Portuguese, and Italian. Spanish will also come. So why we promote the use of leather? Simply said, because leather is a unique material. Leather with an history of, 5,000 years. It's an very old example of recycling. It was used already by the old Egyptians. Leather is a material that is made either from wholly recycled or part recycled components and does not call on finite resources. Leather is a material that lasts a long time, maybe even over several generations. It's easy to maintain. It can be repaired. It can be recycled. It's for different uses: automotive, clothing, garments, seats, whatever. Leather is something that we know if it is responsibly made by an industry that is constantly changing. We are improving. It is certified by international recognized manufacturing protocols, so it's a clean industry. In total, an estimated of 7.3 million tons of hides are produced each year, and as a byproduct from the food industry. It's good to realize that an increased demand for leather will not increase the availability of skins and hides. And as there is no economic incentive for farmers to breed more animals. In relation to this, or opposite to this, a lower demand for leather will result in an increased amount of landfill, which we have seen it's happening in the recent months due to COVID-19 situation. As such, we believe that we have an ethical duty to ensure that as long as human consumes dairy and meat for their proteins needs, we should upcycle every hide and skin into leather instead of downcycling or wasting it. Leather is long lasting and have an interesting example here, the picture on the bottom right side. Various airlines use leather seatings in their planes because they can be simply cleaned. With If you compare with textile seats that needs to be dry cleaned and be re-fire proofed every 6 months, this is a huge logistical problem. Some airlines have the leather seats in short haul trucks replaced after 10 or 12 years. This is a big difference if we compare with textile seats that are said to last 3 to 5 years. With a changing society where responsibility and recyclability becomes more important, leather is the perfect material. Leather is a perfect candidate to design for recycle. At the start of the product life cycle, we are seeing the designers more and more creating products that can be repaired, making simple parts like a zip easy to replace in order to can exchange broken components and extend the lifetime of the product. In footwear, we have conversation with designers and developers who are looking for every component, every stiffer or filler to understand if that compromises the availability of the finished product to be repaired or restored. We are starting to see a full deconstruction of the process that starts with not just the end point in mind, but the evolution of the product on its journey. A good approach to also help safeguarding our planet could be create, wear, repair, repurpose, or as we said here, use less, use better, and use leather. About our website, some words also to this. So we, with great pride, we announced in July 2020 that we launched the new web page. The new Leather Naturally web page has been optimized both in search availability and as well as into look and feel. It is really easy to navigate and it's oriented less to the leather industry itself, but more to consumers, designers, journalists, interested people. For example, educators who are interested in become more clarification to their questions and concerns about leather. We have put some special emphasis, including enough really useful information, and I want to highlight the following fact sheet. There are 10 fact sheets in total, with they're titled "Benefits of Leather," "Use of Leather," "Leather as a it's a recycling material," "Leather," "The Sustainability of Leather," "Everything You Need to Know About Leather," "Leather," and leather alternatives, so that we can understand better the terminology. This is in the leather terminology fact sheet, the summary of different types of tanning, etc. And as I said, it's in a very early in my presentation. They are already available in different languages, and this is easy to find through leathernaturally.org. I invite you to consult them, use them, and help us to promote and spread the appreciation of the good name of leather, understanding that we have an ethical duty to use this byproduct to create a unique material. Here's an example of how a fact sheet looked like. I have taken one very sensitive one, the labeling. It's called here "When leather is not leather." We want to stress that the leather industry has nothing against any other alternative material or against vegan materials. In fact, many of the final leather articles are combined with combinations of different materials, which is adding variety to brands and creating new challenging articles. But we feel that the consumers have the right to understand what kind of materials is used in their shoes or in their bag, as mostly the alternatives are made of plastic or use plastic to strengthen the material. It is questionable if customers would have chosen the alternative material to leather if they would know that it's made of plastic. Therefore, we kindly invite you to look further than the label to understand the source of material, how it's made, and this will help you to take the right decision when you choose a final product. And finally, I want to introduce you to a new type of promotion Leather Naturally is doing. We have created our own digital platform. The name is METCHA. Many of you know it already, and if not, here you will see a good example. It's a kind of oracle for the leather design and culture that constantly inspires through interviews, features, articles, interesting products, iconic cars, vintage materials, etc. With the campaign Leather Naturally, it's celebrating a digital communication. It is in particular it's to capture two categories of customer, considering strategic to promote the consumption of leather in the coming years. It's aimed to reach the so-called Gen Z and the millennials. The basic idea is to let new generations know and appreciate the value of the leather through a communication project that speaks the language and that involves all social networks. We have managed to gain and maintain an interesting amount of followers, especially in the channels Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm going to show you this short video. It's about 1 minute and 30 long, and after the video I asked you to please subscribe METCHA, and as I said several times during the presentation, would be fine if you have a look in our webpage and see what interesting informations you can find there. So this is all. Thank you very much for your patience listening to me, and I hope you will become a new member of Leather Naturally or a follower of the METCHA campaign. Thank you very much.